How can I help you?
I have an offer in Luxembourg. I wanted to know your personal experience.
Luxembourg is very international. It's one of the best places to live and work in. Everybody would speak English. Salaries are significantly higher. It's great for children. It's great for families. It's safe. If immigration is the thing you're interested in, they give you the nationality in 5 years. You really feel integrated. Like you can really become a part of the country. You'll be treated well.
In USA, I got like 120,000 as a base. In Luxembourg, everything included, it's like
When you're making the decision,
yes,
you make it at a very high level based on salaries and
yes.
stuff. Europe has slightly different benefits. So it depends on what you want to do in life and what your career path is. So, for example, short term finances, moving with family, immigration, etc. Recently, Amazon was also letting people go. And I've
Uh-huh.
seen colleagues of mine in the US being
Uh-huh.
very stressed out because if they get fired tomorrow, they would lose everything and they would just have to go back. In Europe, you have a lot of protections. And I think that's a major thing that people don't realize when they make a decision. So you're really a part of the country. It's not just like tomorrow somebody can kick you out, for example. I'm on a 6-month paid holiday right now to spend time with my child. And that would never happen in almost any other country than Europe, right?
What is the relative taxes in Luxembourg right now? Like if I'm earning like 100K.
On 100K, you would give away like 40% will be deducted, but 20% of that is tax, roughly 10% is pension, and the rest is health insurance, disability insurance, unemployment insurance. Now, this is very interesting in Luxembourg because that 40% changes a lot depending on your condition. Your tax reduces significantly.
Okay, got it. Just a moment. Yeah, cool. So, how's everything going on?
All good. How are you?
Yep, I'm great. So, like, I have been seeing in your YouTube videos more than a year ago, where actually I'm looking to take an admission for my brother. He is actually willing to get into medical things, and so from there, I have seen you, and we recently connected over on LinkedIn. I have seen that you have a Calendly link over there. Like, why should I try to talk to you? So in real life, you are like a little bit more more glossy rather than the video.
Glossy. What do you mean by
Ah,
glossy?
that means like you look good more than video,
Ah,
more than
okay.
YouTube video.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
Anyway, so
appreciate.
like you are still working with Amazon.
Yes.
Okay. So how you moved to Luxembourg, by the way?
How did I move?
Mhm. So like
So
you
me,
mentioned in yeah, I actually wanted to know like you just mentioned that you moved from Germany to the Luxembourg, I think. So like what is the exact process that you have followed?
there's no, so for me, there was no exit process. So I studied in Germany, right? And then I started working for Amazon a long time ago, like 13 years ago um, in Germany, um,
Okay.
in Munich. And then at some point around
Mm-hmm.
5.5 years ago, I moved internally with Amazon from Germany to Luxembourg. So there's no
So
exit
it's
process. For me
it's
personally, yeah,
internal movable. Yeah.
yeah. For me, it was an internal move.
Okay.
But how can I help you, Utsav? What are you looking for exactly?
Okay. So let me give you a little bit background of myself. I'm
Sure.
audible first, like
Yeah, yeah, you
because
are.
the yeah,
You are,
okay,
you are.
got it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I have been working with one of the WordPress VIP company. We have our own office in Germany, Canada, and in India. And out of the 73 lakh companies over the Asia, we are one of the top five. And I'm a strategic manager over that company. And now I want to take a next move in my life. I do have an offer in the same domain with Luxembourg, Belgium, and USA. So I actually wanted to ask only one question. I don't believe since I am playing with internet and technical things all the day. So I know like how much manipulative these things are maybe. So I wanted to know the exact thing like is Luxembourg is really a safe thing I wanted to move with my fiance and my brother. like my younger brother. So like, is it like do you have stable economy, and how's the employment ratio and everything, like is it like, do you have good work life balance and everything in real world, like not at the camera side. I wanted to know your personal experience.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I mean, the reason why I talk about Luxembourg in these videos as well is because I really believe in it. I think it's one of the best places to live and work in. It's been like you can Google some of that as well, right? It was rated, the Luxembourg city was rated the safest city in the world. I think it was a few years ago now, like 2, 3 years ago, but still that tells you a lot, right? You can, I mean, if you Google richest country in the world, you'll get Luxembourg either on number one or number two because the jobs are quite high paid. Of course,
Okay,
it's
yeah, that's I'm sure. Like, cause they like for this role, they have offered me like I know for like for the IT sector, Europe is still at the downside because USA still hold the biggest market. So as not as like in USA, I got like 120,000 as a base, and got some of the stock option for 30,000. In Luxembourg, it's like everything included. It's like 70K,
mm,
like
I understand.
like one, yeah, but it's still like in you, I probably know like it's Visk, like I'm not sure that you have heard about like they guys really got funded and nearly reached to the $1 billion recently.
What
And
did?
if
Sorry,
you
I
are
missed.
aware with the Visk, the company, the
Missed.
offer I have got from.
Okay.
And yeah, in Luxembourg, it's like it is service based company, working as like a little bit at project side, and a little bit at like in the client management, like both of that I need to manage. It's a small company, not like there are 50 people across the globe. So yeah, and still like holding a Belgium offer. I have been with like I'm working with that Belgian guy on a like on a contract basis since last 4 year. And now since he's like very good, like he's very satisfied with my work, so he's like why wouldn't you I join full time them guys. So he told me like just move over here for some time, and then you can still work remote if you wanted to, like move back to India. But if you want change, just like come to the Brussels. They are based in Brussels, Belgium. So
Ah, interesting. I mean, Brussels is a very different story from Luxembourg. I mean, me personally, I'm not a big fan of Belgium, so I
okay.
don't think Belgium and Luxembourg are the same thing at all, in any way at all, right? Because Luxembourg is very international. Everybody would speak English. Salaries are significantly higher than Belgium. It's much safer than Brussels for sure. Um,
Okay.
Brussels and Luxembourg are two very different things. They're very close by, but they're very different. So if the offer is in Brussels, I would think very differently about it than I would for Luxembourg, for example.
Okay. Got it.
And
Got
to
it. Got it.
to
Got it.
answer your earlier question, you're absolutely right, right? For IT, but even generally, right? Like I know for my job at Amazon, I would also get paid much more in the US. But Europe has slightly different benefits, right? So it depends on what you want to do in life and what your career path is, right? If it's all about short-term finances, Europe is not the answer. You're absolutely right. Maybe look for the job in the US, right? But if you're moving with family and it's important to you how safe the place is, how comfortable life is, um, and you want to move long term, like you want to, immigration is important to you, for example, you want to set a new life, etc. That's where Europe takes priority.
Okay.
Because
And
in one of
and
the, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. So
No, I
first,
was just saying that
like,
those are the good things about Luxembourg, right? Life is good. It's great for children. It's like great for families. It's safe. They give you the nationality in 5 years, so you can really feel, and you feel like you really feel integrated. Like you can really become a part of the country. You'll be treated well. All of those things. That's what's different here. The salaries are, but
okay.
definitely lower than the
Okay,
US. So I
okay,
think that's a
okay.
choice
So,
to be
so
made.
for me, finance is not like not really that much matter, cause I already have been working with one of the top player in the world. Like PayPal is my client. I have closed deal for like $4 lakh for my company. Like Jumeirah Group is my client. World Bank is my client. So I'm not like I have a lot commission. So the main reason is like I am getting married like in couple of months. and I wanted to move my fiance to the European country. I'm basically in India right now. If you are aware, like in India, Gujarat, but I'm very shortly will moving somewhere else. I'm looking at option, and I want her to take to sacrifice Indian citizenship and to take any whichever the country she will be moving.
Mm.
So I have two peak option. One is Ireland. Why I have choose Ireland? Just because of you wouldn't need to learn any another European language rather than you in English. So one option is that, and another is Luxembourg, because she's been working with Google right now as a
Hmm.
machine learning engineer, and she's not like since now like he already tried. Sorry, she already tried for internal migration, but some of the policies is actually holding her back. So she is just leave the Google and looking for something else. If there is some startups out there, maybe, and she can easily get a job. But the point is she's let's do one master degree, and then she'll restart her career. So if she's she's alone, so I'm just concerned about the safety. That's the main part of this call. And one more thing is what is the relative taxes, relative taxes in Luxembourg right now? Like if I'm earning like 100K euro, so how much will be the taxes?
Got it. Okay. So look, I mean, I'm curious because, like, I mean, machine learning is like the best field to be in right now. It's the
Yes,
highest paid and like most sought after. Right, machine
yes.
learning right now is like,
You won't believe, Usman. One of my friend, he got an offer for base just with 5 years of experience, 1.8 million base. I don't know what is the stock option, but he shared that offer letter, and I was like, oh my god, he's in in his mid 30s,
hmm,
but he moved from sales to machine learning.
yeah,
He started with data analysis, but they're getting to the core machine learning, and 1.8 million Canadian dollar, not the US dollar, but it's still a huge amount. It is
huge,
really
yeah.
huge amount
Machine
paid.
learning is
But
wild. Like even in Europe, you get double the salary if you're machine learning versus like a normal any other non-tech career. So machine
yeah,
learning is definitely high in demand, right? Which makes me
yes.
wonder, why would your fiance do a degree when she could be having a very lucrative, very nice career right now? She could get any job she
So
wants. Like
yeah,
there is a
she
shortage of.
what yeah, yeah, there is shortage, but the point is since she's right now, her operation has involved some of the analysis part and some of the data science part, not the core machine learning where she is working with NLPs and LLMs. So she's focusing on to being a quant. She wanted to become getting into derivative analysis. And if I'm not wrong, Luxembourg is the finance capital of the Europe. They are almost managing the 10 trillion euros in the assets. So maybe she is very good at finance as well. So she is looking at somewhere she wanted to sharpen her edge and wanted to get into where she can I'm not sure if you heard about quant thing. If she can it's a one step ahead than the machine learning, right? And if she's getting into that, then maybe I don't know what may be the salary, but more than the machine learning, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. It's like machine learning in finance, right? So it
Yes,
should be
exactly,
lucrative.
exactly like that, exactly like that. Mostly the hedge funds are hiring them, and even if you check out with the levels.fi, the base start from $200,000 for the freshers as well.
Yeah,
so so
no,
yeah,
that
and
makes sense.
she's much concerned about the money. So yeah, that is why. And obviously she have her own decision, so I'm not interfering with that. But yeah, in if she's moving in 2025, maybe in one and a half year I also need to move over there. So I'm just planning everything and getting your views done. But yeah, you are the only one who can provide. I have try to find information on the YouTube, but like YouTube is still not with full of the resources for the Luxembourg. Only one channel is there. I don't know what's the name, but one lady is providing educational stuff for Luxembourg, and you are there for the work life. So I think you have to try you have to make more videos. I think there are no competition for you.
Okay, thanks. I can do that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, to
Uh,
answer your other question, it's on taxes. Um, so taxes on 100K salary. So the way Europe works is there is a tax, but then there are additional things on top. So the way it would work is on 100K salary, I would say roughly 20% will be taxed. This is rough, huh? So don't quote me on this. I'm just trying to give you a rough figure. So it's like roughly 20% would be taxed. Then I would say another 9% or so would be taken away for your pension. So it's not the money that goes away, it's just being saved for you for later. And wherever you are in the world when you retire, you will get it through the Luxembourgish embassy in that country. So it's just being saved
okay.
for you for later by the government
Mm-hmm.
though. Like it's not optional, it happens.
Okay.
Um, that's 9%, I think, roughly. Then you have another, I would say, 6 to 7% that goes for your health insurance.
Mm.
And then I think you have another 3 4% roughly, which is basically disability insurance and unemployment insurance. So Europe is more social in that sense compared to the US. Like in the US, you just get your money and everything is your problem. If you break your leg, it's your problem, right?
Yes,
Here,
yes, yes.
here it's more like you get less of your money, right? More is being deducted, but then you're taken care of in a lot of different ways. Money is being saved for you for your pension by the government, right? The 10%. That 10% is matched by your employer. So it's doubled and then it goes into your pension. So you get a good pension when you retire. Um,
Okay.
the taxes go into funding like free education for everyone. So the university, like for example, if your fiance comes to study here, the master's degree is completely free, right?
Mhm.
So some of that, those benefits are funded by the taxes.
But
Then when I talk about unemployment insurance, so in the US,
mhm.
for example, people get fired day over day, right? You're just being told that don't come to work tomorrow, you're fired. In Europe, it's you don't really get fired that way. Like people have a lot of employees have a lot of protections, and in case you are let go by your company, they will need to give you some sort of compensation, and then the state will protect you for another 12 months. So for a year after you lose your job, you still keep getting some money from the state, like 80% of your salary roughly or something. So
Oh my
Europe
God,
is more
80% of
socialist.
my salary.
Yeah, for a year if you have worked
Oh
for
my
at least
God.
a year. So there is a lot of these, like Europe is different in the sense that it's very comfortable, it's very protected, it's very nice. Like it's a more comfortable life.
I'm feeling poor by the way.
Why? Why?
cause cause my employer are like not like this. I've been working with like I was in UK for 3 months for the internship, and they like I was survived only on €1,000 since it's just stipend thing. But then I moved back to India. Like it's program like that. Like I was working for 3 months in UK, and then coming back to the India and working uh, remotely. But there are no such things like this employment benefits. No, not that. And they can file like in India. My employer, like even if I'm working, like if I'm giving 100% of my effort, still I can get notice maybe tomorrow that you don't have to come
I
from
know,
the day
I
after
know,
tomorrow.
I know, and people don't
So
realize. Like it's great that you're realizing this. Right? People don't realize this, right? Because when you're making the decision,
yes,
you make it at a very high level based on salaries and
yes,
stuff. I
uh-huh,
have seen people, like there was a time like recently Amazon was also letting people go, right? And I've
uh-huh,
seen colleagues of mine in the US being
uh-huh,
very stressed out because in the US, because
hmm,
especially if you're Indian, right, it takes like I think decades to get your green card and your residency. So
yeah,
I had colleagues who had been in the US for more than a decade, working for a very good company like Amazon. They have built their life there. They have children there that have only been born there and grown up there, so they've not known any other life. At the risk that if they get fired tomorrow, they would lose everything and they would just have to go back. And it's so weird for me, and I understand that stress, right? Because in Europe, like none of that is true because you have a lot of protections. A, you're not getting fired that easily. B, you have protection for a year after. If you are getting fired, you're getting some money. C, if you've lived here for like 3 to 5 years, you either have a permanent residency or you even have a nationality. So you're really a part of the country. It's not just like tomorrow somebody can kick you out. And I think that's a major thing that people don't realize when they're making the decision. But when it actually comes to that, it can be really, really difficult.
Okay. Cause like this thing is really important, by the way. Like I'm kind of like, nah, for me, money is not important. Like now I'm just looking at stability. Cause I have you like are you married or like still single?
Me?
Yeah.
You're asking me, I am married and I have a 7-month-old baby. This is why I'm on a parental leave right
Okay.
now.
So I think now money is not what, like stability is more important to you, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
so this is
So
another thing, parental leave, right? So, for example, so I have a baby, a 7-month-old baby, and I'm on a 6-month paid holiday right now to spend time with my child, and that would never
oh,
happen in almost any other country than Europe, right? Like six
okay, Usman,
months
I'm
paid,
yeah,
it
yeah.
it
I'm
doesn't
convinced to
work.
move Luxembourg.
It's a pretty good place, so especially to start your career. If immigration is a thing
Okay.
you're interested in, I think it's a good place to start. And then once you are immigrated, you can still look at other options on saying, hey,
Okay.
okay, now
Okay.
for 3, 4, 5 years, I want to go earn more money either in the US or Middle East. You can do that. But I'm
So
sorry
if
for Sorry, let me
yeah,
just
go ahead.
answer your original question. First, to answer your question on the taxes, right? So altogether, on 100K, you would give away like 40% will be deducted, but 20% of that is tax, roughly 10% is pension, and the rest is health insurance, disability insurance, unemployment insurance, stuff like that. Okay. Now, this is very interesting in Luxembourg because that 40% changes a lot depending on your condition, right? So, for example, if you are here but you're married, right, and your wife's not
Mhm.
working, she's a student, then your tax reduces significantly. I think it goes down to like you're taxed in a way that they basically assume that they will cut your salary in half and assume it's half for you and half for your wife, and then the tax reduces quite significantly for that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they tax you as a couple, and if your wife is not earning, then you're hardly taxed because the amount of money is quite small. So there's
Oh,
differences on taxation
that's
based on if you're married or not married. So if you're planning to come where your wife is not working, then it's actually pretty good. Then the tax goes down to quite a low amount.
okay. This is really great. I think this thing is very this point is very considerable. Okay. So yeah, and that will happen actually. I need some break, by the way. Like I have been working since last 4 5 years, and haven't taken a good breaks in last since this is early age of my career. I'm just 23, but I have like from the starting I have got very good like very good background with the corporate, and got a good salary and good position. So one more thing is I wanted to ask, like I have
Hmm.
been in like I have been very good with consultation and strategic partnerships. So I will like I'll maybe choose that option as well. And I'm still very good at maths and data. So I was like even I have done like my bachelor degree in maths. So it's 4 year degree, and I think because of the 4 year degree I can get admission in like directly to the University of Luxembourg. And I've seen the criteria, so I think I'm a good fit for that. So if I'm working as a employee somewhere, right, and at the same time I'm doing a side hustle, or I can register a business in Luxembourg, is that possible,
Yeah, I
or
mean
any
that's
restrictions are there?
it is. I mean that's what I'm doing, right? But like it depends on the company. So you need to check with the company and then you need to inform them. So in my case, for example, I had to check if Amazon allows, and then I had to tell Amazon what I was planning to do, saying, hey, I want to coach people, I want to help people, I want to start a charity school. All of those things I had to inform them and make
Okay.
sure, and then they make sure that it doesn't clash with what they do, which in this case doesn't clash with Amazon, right? So it depends on the company. Generally, it is allowed. Absolutely. It depends on the employer that you have, and then you will need to inform them and make sure they are okay with it.
So basically company allows us the like the moonlight thing, then we can work somewhere else as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then I think I don't see any red flags in coming to the Luxembourg. Maybe like I think it's good for now. So my most questions are resolved. And one last question, like are you like will be permanently living in Luxembourg, or will be moving somewhere else?
Me?
What are your personal thoughts on that?
um, I think I'll move at some, or we will move at some point to the Middle East because we quite like Dubai. Um, And there is a compensation difference. In all fairness, you get paid much more in Dubai and in the US compared to Europe. Um,
Mhm.
and there's no taxes in Dubai. So it works out quite well financially when you're in the later stage of your career, right? But again,
Okay.
I think the right path is, in my mind, in my opinion, is still
Mhm.
this, that you start your career somewhere where you can integrate and get comfortable with life, have a nationality, um, and have a good life that you can always revert back to if you need to. And then you can optimize for finances. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, you have done that. Like, I actually got a real life
Yeah.
persuasion what must
I mean,
needed to you.
I've lived more of my life in Europe than I did anywhere else, right? I was 18 when I moved and I'm 35 now. So I've lived more than half of my life here.
Oh my God.
Um,
So
so
like,
it's,
so you are from like, more than a decade you are away from your family. So are you
yeah,
living with your parents
all,
or not?
it's almost 2 decades at this point, right? Because 2007, yeah, it's going to be in 2 years, it's going to be like 20 years, right? So it's been like almost 18 years. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, no, my
So
parents don't live with me. Why?
okay. So like I was a little bit insecure, but yeah, I think you just I'm really thankful for this thing. I know you're so kind. I think, and like you are the till now you are the most trusted resource to get this information. So
I'm happy to
yeah,
help.
thank
Glad
you
I
so
could help.
much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
If anything comes
yeah,
up, let me know. I'm here. I'm happy to help. So thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I wanted to know one thing. Like, can you share a little bit about your charity school? Like
Yeah.
how what it does and like how we can help.
So what the charity school basically gives free education to children that have never been to school. So the criteria for the school is we take students that have never been to school, and the reason being that they can't afford to go to school.
Okay.
And the idea is to provide them free education and free nutrition to like take care of them so they actually get a chance at a good life. That's
In
what we do.
Luxembourg or in somewhere else?
No, it's in Pakistan. So that's where I'm originally from, right? Um,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
that's where the
I'm
school is.
aware of
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's like, I'm sure it's better in India, but probably similar, right? You know how much poverty there is, right? So there is a lot of like
it.
these kids that don't get a chance to go to school. So the idea is to help them, make sure everybody at least
Hmm.
gets an education, so then they can
Okay.
decide what they want to do in life, right?
And how we can donate to that?
I'm like, if you're interested, let me know. I'm happy to share the link. The way we do it is you can obviously make a one-time donation, or you can sponsor a child, which is like 25 euros a month, which just like every month it's 25 euros a month, and then you're really sponsoring a child all the way, like their food plus their education, and then it goes on month. Or you can make a one-time, whatever, like in whatever way you want to help.
Okay, got it. I have asked you, like, so like in recent I have partnered with a guy name is Leon, and like I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So like they are, I'm not sure, but land management is one of the biggest, like corporate governance within the Europe. They have managed like they are managing 70% traffic for the development, technical development across the Europe, and I've been partnering with that guy. So like they guys do lots of charity and everything. So I can
Okay.
refer you to them. 'Cause since I trust, like I've been interacting with you, so I feel like I feel that you are like the money will go in safe hand. So
Yeah,
I can like refer someone to you.
that would be very nice of you. Yeah, I would
You
appreciate that.
understand? I think what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. Absolutely. Because the
Yeah.
more funding we have, the more kids we can educate, and that's just better for the world.
Yes. Obviously. Obviously. That's that what it say. That feeling in in my heart actually. Like whichever, like if we are able to earn, then why shouldn't we are not helping anyone else? I don't know, like in
Exactly.
India it is still there are so many NGOs are working. I'm not sure, like I do have friends from Pakistan as well. If you are aware, like there is one game called PUBG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some friends through that, and like yeah, we had good one. Like it's been 6 years, but still we are talking to each other. Now we are like, all with career and everything. But yeah, we are still in that phase.
That's nice. That's nice. You will. So I
Yeah.
think it seems like you've spent most of your life in India. So you will see when you leave, when you move abroad, that like you'll see a lot of people, a lot of Pakistanis and Indians being friends. Like my most of my closest friends from university are Indian, and it just so natural. Like we have all this politics and stuff where people feel like they're different, but we're actually the same people. It's just that when the politics goes away and you meet in person, you're the same people.
Yes, yes, yes. I already have this kind of experience, because my younger brother are like, sorry, my elder brothers are like, been in Malaysia, and their all colleagues are Pakistani. Like
Mm.
they are in marine engineering and everything. So there is no, they are eating in the same plate. So that doesn't make any sense, by the way. Like, these
Same
are the
people.
politician stuff. So we, and like, so don't hesitate about that thing. And
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, so don't worry about it. So Usman, thank you so much for this call. One more thing I wanted to ask you, if I'm able to, like, if I'm able to reference your charity school to the Lian, I'm not sure what he's going to, like, reply me, but I wanted to try if, like, you'll get good funding from there. So how can I arrange one more call? Like, I just have to add his, like, from the calendar link, or I need to like, explain that in advance over LinkedIn.
I think it'll be better if you just send me a LinkedIn message and tell me what's happening, what's the call about. Even if you have other questions, right? You can just message me on LinkedIn. I think that's the easiest option.
Yeah, great. Now I think we will meet in Luxembourg. I have made my mind. I just
Sounds
like,
good.
I'm
I
just,
That would be really cool, huh? Because like I've had people like I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, you're the guy from the YouTube video, right? We watched your video and then we decided to come and look, here we are." Those are like the best moments, right? When you feel like you've made some sort of a difference. So to meet you in Luxembourg would definitely be awesome. So
yeah,
looking forward to that.
because the major doubt is, like, my safety of my fiance, and one more thing is that the business thing. Cause if I'm like, if I'm not working for someone else, roughly maybe I'm making 200K. I don't know, even more than that, if I'm not working for someone else. So the things are working out in my life is, like, I'm slowly becoming my own business owner, and at the same time I wanted to do a job as well, but I just wanted to pursue the side hustle, and wanted to try the data science. So the point is, like, if I'm able to work 8 hours for data science, for rest of the 4 hours I can still work for, like, this thing,
Yeah,
the thing
absolutely.
I'm
I
doing
love that
currently.
idea for you. I mean, like in today's world, I am a big believer that you should try to do at least something on the side. And if you're like skilled and you get the right opportunities, jobs would actually never give you as much as your own business, your own freelancing would. So I totally encourage that. Sounds brilliant.
Yeah, obviously. When, even if, like, I'll work my ass off, and still then I don't know. I'm not sure with this business I can earn 1.8 as a base. Hard cash. No, it
Maybe
is
not
still
in the
very far.
first year, huh? But you don't know. Maybe in like 5 years, maybe you'll have a whole team back in India, and your business will be earning, I don't know,
Yes.
more
But by
millions
the
than
way,
what you are.
yeah. So sorry to interrupt your flow. I just wanted to ask. In India, we have very crazy thing. I'm not sure. Are you aware or not? People are dying to get government job, even it is like too
Yeah.
less than the corporate job.
Yeah.
So is the same craze is going in Pakistan?
It is. I think it's a bit. It's less than India. It's definitely less than India. I was watching the video, the movie. Sorry, it's called 12th Fail, right? I don't know if you've
Yes.
seen the movie,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I was impressed by that movie, right? It's not like India. It is there. It's not like India. It's not. I would say it's less crazy, less than half as crazy as it is in India to get a government job in Pakistan.
And not like, I personally felt that even I cleared one government exam, and
Hmm.
I have been in service for, like, 6 months, and I left. I'm not enjoying the government job anymore.
Hmm.
The glorious thing that people are sharing, that hey, you get the government job and you get stability and everything, but oh my god, the drastic change in your mentality when you join the
Yeah.
organization, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, in very few, like, maybe there are like 500 type of jobs out there, and maybe one or two will maybe satisfying you. but I'm not sure that is not my, I'm not sure that that is my goal or not. But yeah, now I got that, like, government job is came for me. Not like, but the people who are like, um like they are preparing for the government job, they also feeling great, like, we are doing something, we are doing something. But at the age of, like, I'm telling my elder brother, like one of my cousin, he's 36 right now, he's still waiting for getting government job. He
True.
haven't, like, enrolled for a
Lived his life.
single job till now. 36, just imagine, like he had lost like half of his life. Even if he's
Mm.
starting his corporate journey, maybe in, like, next 5 or 10 years, he may be reach at associate or an assistant manager level. I don't think so, like he just wasted his life
Yeah. No,
behind the
I
government
understand what
job.
you're saying. Makes sense. But look,
So
people are passionate about their own different things, right? And they
yeah,
have their own, like the reason for the charity school for me is like my way of serving humanity, right? I guess a job in the government service is their way of serving humanity and world. So we all do what we feel
but
gives us the
but
happiness and the joy in life.
एक नहीं, एक मौके के बाद वापस आ जाना चाहिए. दैट मीन्स, लाइक, अगर प्यार नहीं
That's
मिल रहा
fair.
तो नहीं मिल रहा.
That's fair.
नहीं
Yeah. I
मिल रहा
mean,
तो, yeah.
you should get the learning at some point. I get it. That makes sense.
Yes, at some point, at some time, you have to, like, get back to the bars that already been set.
That makes sense.
So I think I that's it by my side. If you wanted to share anything, I'm here, or
No,
we can
I'm
meet
good. Yeah.
in next quarter maybe.
Keep
Like
me
I'll
keep me updated on your decision, on your thought process. Like when you have more news, let me know. Just drop me a message on LinkedIn, and we'll stay in touch that way. Yeah.
okay. No,
Thanks,
I'm
Utsav.
telling you what I'm doing. I'll like, I'll straight away. I'm just like, like, drafting one email with my Belgium client, and I'll telling him that I can do this in part time, and if you are willing to, like, continue this part-time relationship, so just make me aware. If you are, if he, like, if Ellen is agree to work with part-time, so I'll start for, like, my
Don't call
migration
it part
process
time.
as soon as possible.
Do not
Sorry.
call it part time. Don't call it part time. Just say I will be interested in doing that, but I need to know that I will have the flexibility to do my freelancing stuff in parallel. Don't call it part time because part time means very different things because legally part-time is a different thing than a full-time thing. You don't necessarily need part-time. If you're thinking of working 7 hours a week or 8 hours a week, that's not part-time. That's you doing a job plus you doing your stuff on the side. So it doesn't need to be part-time. So don't call it
but
part-time. Just
but
say,
he
hey,
requires 20 hours a week.
he only needs 20.
He requires, he
Yeah.
want me to work like 40-50 hours a week, because I'm provided, like, I have got a very good clients around the globe, like mostly with the USA. So he wanted to join me him a full time, but I'm still looking at to do this data science and finance stuff. And
Oh, I
I'm,
got
since
it. So
I'm
you
very good
really
at
want to
maths.
do it part-time. The only thing what's up is like to be mindful of is like I think part-time, right, could have it depends what the contract is, right? I think the contract cannot be part time. So it needs to be for him to be able to sponsor the visa and everything. There might be something there. So keep it a bit more open for now. Don't say I will only do part time. Say, hey, so I will be interested. I'm curious how many hours, what is the minimum number of hours I can do because I still want to do other things in parallel. I want to get my degree or whatever, right? Ask questions rather than saying this is what I will do. Ask questions. Try to
Okay,
understand more.
got it. Noted. I'll do this, and I'll
Yeah,
mention this everything in my.
cool.
Anyways, Osman, it's great talking to you. What's timings over there? I think it's in the evening, right?
Yeah, it's evening
Okay.
6:30, and it was a pleasure talking to you as well. So keep me
Yeah.
updated on
Go ahead.
LinkedIn. Looking forward to see you in Luxembourg one day. That'll be
Yeah,
really
yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Sure, you will getting a
Thank
good
you,
message from my side.
thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Bye bye.